morning, everyone. What a wonderful, wonderful day. Can we say gap up? The word for the day is gap up. Does everybody know what gap up means? Yes, you are right. We gapped up today. So, if you're crazy like me and you swung Tesla, Google, and Apple overnight, you might want to put in some exit orders at the bell, which is already done. Now, there's a little trick to doing that. If you've never done it before, if I have time today, I will show you how to do it, just to get yourself a theoretical exit, which is pretty cool. Excuse me. Oh, that sucked. It went down the wrong pipe. Oh, man. Dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in y'all's ears. Oh, I apologize about that. Ugh, that was rough, though. Ugh, it's super rough. Ugh. All right, so gap up means that there's going to be a gap fade at the open, lots of profit taking, and then hopefully a rebound and a bounce, and then either consolidation or continuation throughout the rest of today. If you have not already joined our Discord, we're going to be going on live voice in Discord every morning for the open. And if you want the link to join, let me just grab y'all the invite right now and we will get going. Invitations. It's a free Discord. There's going to be a lot of carryovers. The Dark Pool Charts himself is going to start joining us. I know, bro. God, it killed me. Dark Pool Charts himself is going to start joining us. I've got him full time now, and how do I copy this? How do I copy it? Does anybody know? Maybe that. Hold on, does that work? Nope, it doesn't work at all. All right, let me do this. Discord's having a little bit of an issue. Invite people, right? Hidden use copy button. What? That's weird. Generate new link. Copy. Huh. Weird. Discord decided to change its... There we go. That's a Discord server URL to get into our free Discord. And with that, let's hop into the news. We've got lots of things to cover today. Mainly the gap up and... lots of news. Tesla came out. Tesla got presidential endorsement today, so Tesla may just rip the world away. Yeah, presidential endorsement. They came out and said Tesla is the #1 EV maker or something like that. Yeah, it was interesting. So, all right, give me 1 second. Let me just get adjusted here, and we will get into the news. What is this business? This is supposed to be plain text. There we go. All right. ScanSource, we don't trade. New Relic. Paycom. Oh, digital apps. We like apps, right? Digital Turbine, EPS 49 cents versus 43, revenues 375 versus 353, guides forward revenue at 1.25 billion versus 1.52, so they lowered their guidance a little bit, and their adjusted is about the same, EPS at 166 versus 161. So yeah, that's mixed emotions, mixed results. That giant wick candle right there that ran pretty much daily bottom to daily top. That's your range, unfortunately. 39 to 50. Look at a nice series of higher lows and higher highs. I would say a break of 46, 50 for a move to 47, possibly 47.25. We did get a wick up to, there it is, there's that wick up to 50. But it just made it range bound. This would have been a perfect stock to do an iron fly on, but we didn't do it. Weekly bottom, 4-hour top, so 47.50, 48.50, and possibly 49.50 for digital turbine. It looks really good. The market should have a nice rally today. I know Tesla's puking up money. I swung. I'll show you what I swung. This is what I swung. I swung Tesla, Google, Apple, and some QQQ puts. Obviously, my puts are down. I was barely hanging on. Like, I was so ready to close these out yesterday. But yeah, so I've got the Google. It's not going to say it is. There you go. Apple 175s, the Google 2900s, and a couple of these Tesla 975s. Or a Tesla 975. So that was me. That's what I swung. And I would highly recommend against doing that in this market. But I was okay with, what, $1,500 going to zero? I was okay with it. So, yeah. We did digital turbine, SoftBank. Ooh, this is important. SFTBY, SoftBank Group, said on Wednesday there is no link between Alibaba registering a U.S. share facility and any specific plans to sell down its stake in the Chinese e-commerce giant. Recall shares fell on Monday on speculation that SoftBank could be selling shares. Well, nice little recovery on Tuesday. 5 bottom, 5 top. This 50-day is going to be an issue at 2360, right? Above 2365, we get that move back up to 2450. Baba is the other stock named in that news, and look at there. So Baba reclaimed the 5200. So now I'm liking Baba more. We do have this falling 200. It's hiding over here, or maybe that's just a trend line. What is this then? Is that a wedge breakout? Where's the 200? Yo. Where's the 200-day? Oh, way up here. Holy snaps. All right, so with Baba, it's a fun one to trade. 4-hour bottom, 4-hour mid break, right? Broke the 50. 4-hour top, 126, 127, 128 is your limit. Above 128, you get that move to monthly cloud and daily top at 133, 140. There is a, don't forget this little trend line here. There's some looks like there's some overhead resistance that wants to come out and play. Pretty significant. We're right at it right now, so I would say there. That's pretty close. So if Alibaba and the 40, have you guys seen that Beastie Boys question and answer on HBO Max? It's really good. Like, most people didn't know that Beastie Boys started off as a punk band with very, very misfits. I think they were called the Methodical Misfits. I think that was their first band name, and their first drummer was actually a girl. Yeah, go check it out. It's really cool. Baba with the earnings today. So, earnings after the bell. Yep. So Baba has earnings after the bell. May get that pre-anticipatory run, but form the dub. I would wait for Baba till next week, or if you're gonna play Baba, get next week's strikes or next week's options. Ready, aim, fire. Right. So completely oversold. It's firing off a buy signal. Little slingshot squeeze on the 4-hour, getting ready to release. Right. Earnings broke the 50. If it can get over this overhead resistance, 4-hour top at 125, 126, 127, above previous highs at 128.28. There's a nice big move up to about 130, 135. Baba's a fun one to play. Okay. Omnicom And I bet you they're getting a bunch of flack for their name. It's so related to the... Oh, good earnings. Very good earnings. All right, EPS 195 versus 173. Q4 revenues up 2.6%. Operating profit of $622 million. Increased their operating profit 1.3%. That's a big deal. Operating profit margin of 16.1 and net income of $500 million. Increased 4.5%. I mean, it's a runaway train. 84. It's at 85. So this is a blowout top. Trifecta ripper. So any pullback, look for a continuation on. However, this is a big move, big move for a stock that's not used to making big moves. I would like to short this probably. Looks like previous all-time high was 86.40. So just be careful with it. I got the matrix going on in there. Reset my charts, yo. There we go. And all right, here we go. Ooh, it's a lot of news. Hold on. It's a lot of news there. In industrial and materials, we have a lot of news coming through. Republic Services Inc. is set in advanced discussions to buy rival US Ecology, and a deal that could be announced as soon as this week. That would be RSG and RSG, right? And ECOL, yeah, US Ecology. That would have been a fun one to trade. Look at that gap, 35's resistance. All right. Just if you want to trade industrial materials, those are some good ones. Iron ore futures in China plunged more than 6% on Wednesday, snapping a 5-session rally after authorities pledged to strengthen supervision of the market and crack down on irregularities. Iron ore, that's steel, right? Steel production in China is so bad. There was a time a couple years ago where gold was cheaper than steel in China. Not even joking. I promise you, it was a thing. In healthcare, I read something on Twitter about Moderna. Moderna came out and said that the Moderna vaccine produces a protein to attack the beer bug versus where did it go? Versus a different type of antibody, which is weird, right? So basically, they're coming out and saying that Moderna's vaccine attacks the beer bug in a different way than most in creating antibodies. So it uses proteins versus something else. But regardless, anytime Moderna is brought up in the news, it's going to react, right? I hate this stock. It took so much of my lunch money here and here, right? I should have got it all back here, but I didn't. Regardless, Moderna 4-hour bottom, 4-hour mid, 4-hour top. You can trade Moderna above 177 to 198, 220, right? I don't, yeah, it's on my do not trade list, but I will scalp my lunch money back over the course of the next year. Okay, just like I did with Facebook, right? Facebook's no longer on my trade list. Doximity. All right, remember Doximity? I was telling you this is a social media for doctors. Big old gapper. Big giant gapper. I'm going to let somebody know about this. 1 second here. had earnings. Okay. Q3 non-GAAP EPS at 29 cents versus 13 cents. Revenues at 97.9 million versus 86. Sees Q4 revenue at 89 to 90 million versus 89. And revenues at 450 versus 425. Agreed to acquire Amion, which powers nearly 200,000 physician schedules. There we go. This moves well. This is a great options play. This thing moves really well. If it can clear the weekly mid at 58, I think it goes back up to 70. There's a big trading zone right there. You see this one right here from this low to this high. That's a gorgeous trading zone if it can get back up in it. Okay. So this is a peg stock. It gaps up, it consolidates, and it gaps up again. Parabolic stocks, or some other words for it. If you've ever traded pennies, you see this pattern, you know that you're in the money, right? You buy on every pullback. Okay. With that being said, you need to know Chegg. Chegg had earnings yesterday, didn't they? Pretty sure they had earnings yesterday. And they had earnings on the 7th, right? Yeah, we talked about Chegg yesterday. All right. CVS. Ooh, CVS had earnings. Check it. Yo, EPS at 198 versus 179. Revenues rose 10% to 76 billion versus the estimated 75. So they blew out their revenues, right? Revised cash flow from operating guidance range of 12 billion to 13 versus 12.5 to 13. Reaffirms their year adjusted EPS of 810 to 830 versus 827. Announced a significant investment in employees by raising minimum enterprise hourly wage to $15 an hour. So let's look at this from a capitalist perspective, because guess what? I mean, let's think about it. Like, they're flat. They had decent earnings. Why the big drop? Why the big drop? Let's think about it. Oh, profit taking for one. Dead. This is a perfect dead cat bounce. Bouncy, bounce, bounce. But they came out and said, we are not going to be making more money, but we're going to be having more labor costs, right? Their adjusted EPS of 8.10 to 8.30 dollars, $8.10 to 8.10 to 8.30 versus 8.27. And yeah, so unfortunately CVS is gonna have a rough day, right? It's pretty ugly. Let's see. If they break the 4-hour bottom, we got the weekly down here and a 618 retracement at 105. I wouldn't be surprised to see CVS back down at the $100 range. So I wouldn't trade it with the 10-foot pole. Okay. In energy, I'm not seeing anything in financials that's really interesting at all. In energy, the American Petroleum Institute reports crude inventories fell 2.25 million barrels last week. Gasoline inventories fell 1.138 million barrels, and distillates fell 2.2 million barrels. Are we still tracking that yet? Remind me to create a chart that just tracks that, because I want to show you something that's super interesting. I'll play some seasonality stuff on it. Okay. All right. In consumer news, Yum. Y'all remember Yum? Yum C. Q4 adjusted EPS, right? I'm sorry, 46 to 44. Ugh. They're just going to continue to fall. They had horrible earnings. But I wanted to show you Lyft. So Lyft had earnings. Shares are down 7%. Right? Where's that 7% drop? Q4 EPS at 9 cents versus 8, so a penny more. Revenues at $9.69 versus $9.40. Revenues per active rider, $51, 14%. Active riders, 50%. And new rider activations, 42%. So pretty decent earnings, right? Why are they chopping? Well, that's the power of the Celts, right? 15 bottom. This 15 bottom, 15 top move, right? You find a good stock that is very cyclical, like AMT, I think is what it is. American Tower. Yeah, American Tower will just go 15 bottom, 15 top all day long. Right? I think maybe it's not AMT. I'll have to figure it out. But there's one, or Marriott. Maybe it's Marriott. Maybe. Oof, Marriott's ripping. You want to trade Marriott? You got 175 incoming today, right? And then you got to look at possible pullback. Yeah, 175, 176, pullback 172. Yeah, Marriott, pretty decent. All right. Corsair had earnings today as well. CRSR. Q4 EPS at 35 cents versus 25 cents. They're coming right up to the 4-hour top 50. Above 20, they hit 21.50, 22. This is, I might look at investing in this in the long term. I think I remember I said I wanted to get into it based on their earnings. I don't like the choppy, a little $4 move there. Double bottom. I'd wait till this plays out a little bit, see if you can get a better entry on it. Expected elevated freight costs and supply chain issues to start the year, but believe that will fade, and expects to increase their cash position as macroeconomics conditions improve. That should allow execution of M&A opportunities to fulfill their investment criteria or reduce their debt. Right? Okay. Chipotle. Chipotle shares are up 7% on a $1,500 stock. That's big move. Big move. Big. 14.50 to close. 15.80. Well, 15.85 to open. Yeah, that's huge, right? They've got the 50-day coming up at right around 15.85 or 15.90. Above 15.90, there's a nice little move to 16.62. It's just, this is a really hard stock to trade. Fractional shares on this would be great, but the options chain is junk. Chipotle is just hard to trade. We've never traded it. We've always kept an eye on it. Yeah. Jeez, I don't even know what a sympathy play for Chipotle would be. So they raised their quarterly. Nope, I thought they were going to raise their quarterly dividend. Nope, they didn't. All right, so we have some events today. Not a ton, but there's a few. Okay, massive earnings. We have mortgage application data, wholesale inventories, and the weekly DOE inventory. But more importantly, we have some Fed speaking today. One should be speaking in about 7 minutes. Sorry, at 10:30 Eastern, Bowman speaks right after the crude inventories come out. And then this right here, Macklin speaks. And so these can affect the market, right? I don't know about the Canadian one, but definitely, right? MPC Pill speaks. That's secure. So final wholesale inventories should remain the same. Crude inventories should be down, right? We just talked about that. That's what we did. Yeah. Crude inventories fell 2.2 million barrels, right? So this might have a little bit of an effect. So just be aware of the 10:30 Eastern, right? So like I said, get in for the first hour, right? And then let him speak or her speak, right? And then just also be aware of this 10-year bond auction at 101, okay? This will affect the market, I promise you. This 10-year bond auction, okay? All right, that's it pretty much for the event calendar for today. We've got lots of earnings after the close. Uber has earnings. Twilio has earnings today. There's a bunch. I'm just going through the ones that we usually talk about. And IRBT. Disney has earnings today. So Disney, Uber, Twilio. That's pretty much EQT. We've traded that before, haven't we? So we did EQT equity. Yeah, I can't remember if we traded or not. But yeah, so Uber, Twilio. Right. Twilio's already got that pre-entering run up. Uber. All right, if there's any sympathy play off of Lyft's news, check Uber, and then obviously Disney has earnings today. Diz. You want to see? Disney sent me a new computer. I'm developing a project for them, and they're like, hey, so can you just do it on our machine? That way you don't have to worry about any VPN stuff. So I got to get that set up today and probably get working on that. So let's see. Y'all didn't know I did big things besides trade. I do some things. I do some things for some companies. I've worked with some pretty cool companies before. Some tap out stuff. All right. Okay, here we go. And then just market overview. Let's get going, shall we? U.S. futures are pointing at a strong open with the S&P looking to break out of its recent trading range, hopefully to the upsides. We will get into that, and I will show you that the move that I've forecast looks to be taking place. To the upside as Treasury yields ease ahead of another heavy dose of corporate earnings results as key consumer price inflation data tomorrow morning. Later today, Uber and Disney are among companies scheduled to publish their earnings. Reopen stocks, travel, lodging, leisure names may get another boost today after somebody announced the end of the state's mask mandate for most indoor places, New York's Time reported. So New York's they're starting to ease up a little bit. And yes, yesterday you could have traded CCL. Where's Laz here? Yeah, Laz is here. So me and Laz we did a little bit of little one-on-one yesterday for a bit, and I was like, check out CCL, American Airlines, right? Any of these travel and leisure stocks, just big day yesterday. They're saying continuation, and a lot of that's going to be based on the Russell, right? And remember yesterday morning, I was like, the Russell looks pretty dang good here. Well, IWM had a pretty decent day. I'd have to check IWM holdings, but I know that AMC used to be one of their main holdings. I don't think it is anymore. I think Kohl's might still be a big one that's in IWM, but let's definitely check that out and see. I'm pretty sure that they're probably getting rid of as much AMC as possible. It's not going to 100,000. I'm sorry, apes. You guys fought the good fight, but you're never going to beat corporate America. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. There's been millions of movements that have tried to do it, and it's just not going to happen. Just not. There's no stability. You're not providing a stable replacement. Does that make sense? Bitcoin would be the only possibility. However, Bitcoin has now become very NFT and metaverse driven. So there's like, oh, let's restructure capitalism, but let's do it in a metaverse. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Yeah, where's my tinfoil hat? All right. Just kidding. My bad. All right. So the dollar weakens against most Forex majors as Treasury yields edge lower in the U.S. index. Futures extend markets in Asian markets. The Nikkei index jumped 1%. Go, Bay. Way to go. Shanghai gained almost 1% and Hang Seng surged 2%, right? That's huge Asian market moves, right? Europe, the DAX jumps 1.3% and FTSE is up 0.55%. So everything is moving to the upside, right? That's pretty decent. Pretty good. Oops, I gotta kill that dang alarm. Solid day on Wall Street Tuesday. The stocks edged higher across the boards with more than 1% gains for the Dow, Nasdaq, Russell, while the S&P advanced 0.8% in a day led by financials, consumer discretionary materials, industrials, and healthcare. Bond yields continued to surge Tuesday with the 10-year Treasury climbing 1.9% to the highest since July 2019. Remember, there's a bond auction today, okay? Crude inventories fell after an updated supply data shows that U.S. oil production will grow even more than government previously expected to an average of 12.6 million barrels a day in 2023, up from the previous 12.4. According to the Energy Information Administration, gold futures rose for third consecutive session on inflation hedges ahead of Thursday's CPI data. Who was it that hooked us up? Was it watchlist or was it Terry that was like, let's check out gold? I can't remember. One of y'all did. One of y'all was like, yo, One of y'all was like, check out gold. All right, so now we get into the futures. The futures. So this is our future setup. And from the top to bottom, left to right, ES, NQ, YM, the Russell, gold, crude, ZB, which is the bonds, and then the yen. If you want to look for an equity equivalent for these T-bond futures, look at TLT. So if you want to look at an equity equivalent for the ES, you've got SPY, you've got QQQ, you've got Dow, and I think YM is the Russell, and then this would be TLT, right? So with that being said, let's hop right into it, and we will get going here. All right, so this is our future setup. Remember I said there's a couple possibilities. It looks like we're taking this road, right? Now, when we get to, come on. It's not gonna let me do it. I don't know why it's, dude, that's so whack. All right, so, like I said, we've got a couple different things happening here. Okay, so definitely we could potentially have a nice up day up to about 44.90, right? Retest previous highs. If we break this to the upside, right, then this would be the move here, right? We would break it to the upside, and then we would continue on, right? I'm just showing you that. Okay, the other option is this one here, where we go, right? This would be up, down, right? And then down or up. We can easily chop in this range here, 44.40. Well, we've got to maintain the 200, so 44.45 to, well, there's the 50-day right there, right? I forgot I made all of these larger except for on this chart. Okay, so 50-day, 200-day, starting to compress. Okay, we closed above, let's see. We wicked above the 21 and we're opening up above it. So the 21 EMA is at 45.19. That would be a very big drop for us to hit 45.19 to retest it today. I think we get that move up on all the way back up to the 382 retracement. We're on our way up there. Remember, we have a gap day, so there's going to be profit taking at the open. We got to come back and fill the gap, right? Most stocks. Ooh, Tesla. Oh, Tesla, why are you doing this? Like, they're manipulating Tesla so hard right now. Like, so hard. We'll get into it. So, like I said, we've got a little bit more room up to 45. Let's look at previous highs, shall we? We got a previous high at 45.85. This falling 200 or falling 50-day, or excuse me, 200 on the 4-hour is the magnet. Once we hit here, then we can break through it and trend reversal is on, right? Or we pull back and we have another couple weeks of chop. Okay, so let's just be aware of larger time frames and potential moves on those larger time frames, right? So 2200, whatever 2200 is, what is that, noon? By noon we should be hitting all-time highs. There will be some this little gap right here, there'll be some profit taking, pulling back. We had on the 30-minute, we got that 50, we got stacked positive moving averages for the first time in weeks, like truly stacked positive moving averages. 2150, 200 on the 30-minute. That should start factoring through larger time frames over the next couple days, right? 2150, 200 on the hourly. The 4-hour, however, we're still below the 200, but we got the 2150 stack positive. This is the, the 4-hour is going to be a big one that we're going to look to get stack positive again. This is how the market moves when we have those stack positive moving averages, right? Stack positive moving averages, just so y'all know. Okay, now I'm not going to spend as much time on the next couple ones because y'all should understand what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Okay, let's check it out, shall we? All right, on all right, so this is the NQ. This is the tech heavy, right, future where it's a little bit different, right? We closed above the 200 for one day. We pulled back, right? We found a little bit of support there. We're coming up to test the 21-day now, right? Maybe here. My fib levels are off by just a little bit. Let me see if I can fudge these numbers a little bit. Let's see. This might be a little bit, well. Yeah, I think if I fudge these just to get everything to line up a little bit better, I'd probably have to go body. The problem with wicking is that sometimes things are so close to lining up, they can give you a little bit of confusion. So again, very possible moves like that. We've got 15,049 is the 200-day on the daily. Previous, I think there's a little supply zone in here. Possibly 15,237. That might be asking a little bit more than, let's just see here. Yeah, that'd be kind of a big move. Breaking it down to the 4-hour. 4-hour has us, we're above the 50, below this 21, and still not quite caught up, but we're really trying to move back up to this 200, right? It's so close. So that's a 4-hour move. We broke the 382, right? This 382 retracement from previous high to previous low, the 382 should be support for a move to the 50% retracement, and then 618. I'm targeting 15,285 today. Right, yeah, that's going to be a big move. We're going to have a little bit of pullback, especially at the open. We will back test the 382 or potentially this 50. So there may be a big flush, but then I think we're going to get a pretty nice day. Let's check out our lower time frames. So like 30 minute has us waiting for these moving averages to calculate. Come on, load up. There it is. All right, the 30 minute, we have stack positive moving averages, 15, 50, 200. This could be the move. Last time we had stack positive moving averages, right? We had a big old move in the NQ. That's the move we're looking for today. Contrarian, if we reject, like we don't really have any trading zones or anything intraday that should stop us, just normal pullbacks. 15,000 is obviously a psychological key level. Above that, 15,123, and then 15,237. Okay, I think that's y'all should be able to see that by now. Okay, all right. The Dow, like I said, the Dow is the strongest of them all because we held the 200, we held the 50, we finally got above we held the 21, we held the 50. We're getting out of this little micro trading zone right here, and it looks like we're going to try to break a new high. If we do that, there is a larger supply zone that runs here, basically this doji. I know, you're like, we just got out of a supply zone. Why are we in another one? Well, right. I think that one makes sense. I might be off a little bit on it, right? Okay, I think I'm pretty close on it. So we're entering a new supply zone, lots of orders coming in. The move on the Dow is a more of an Elliott wave move, which is this one over here, right? Big up 1, pull back 2, right? Longer 3 to new all-time highs, pulling back 4, 5. I think that makes sense. Let's check out the Dow on the 4-hour. There we go. 2150 stack positive. We kind of blew out a little weird, I've never seen this funky, not quite a wedge, but a wedge thing. And we're just moving right up. We're eating, right? 3.5, let's see, 30, is it just 36,000? Or 35,600 is previous high. And we've got that zone right there that we're going to eat to about 35,915. Big move on the Dow. Looking at it on the 30-minute, everything should be stacked positive and increasing. Come on, load up. Load up. I really like how it broke through the 618 and back tested it for support. And now we're just trying to trade up in that zone. Come on, give me money. There we go. All right, so 2150, 200. This is solid looking move for the Dow. Okay. All right, let's look at the Russell and morning watch list. Was it you that said we should watch gold? All right, here we go. Talk about recovery, right? The Russell has recovered. Now, what does it do? Oh, come on. There we go. I know there's a billion lines on this chart, but I promise you it'll make sense as I get zoomed in. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3 recovery. We overtook the 21 finally. We've got an uptrending regression line, right? Finally, we broke this overhead previous trend line resistance, and now we've got a potential move up to the 50-day and then the 200. Keep in mind that we have a snow line that's going to be a magnet at 2120. The 50-day at 2139, and then the next snow line at 2163. So up, trade zone, up. Looks like we broke previous highs. I don't want to call this a woo reversal. Ooh, lots of things just made the super trend list. Let's look at it on the 4-hour. Here we go. Starting to get them stacked moving averages that we like to see. So look for some resistance at 2070, above 2070, 2086. There's a trading zone that runs. Let me just see if I can make this one bigger. So we're in a micro supply zone, but the actual trading zone is this. Okay. All right, we're just getting in trading into that zone. So resistance, profit taking here. Maybe a little consolidation here for the big move up to here, right? That 50 is right at a snow line too. And as we bring it down to the 30-minute, I think we should have a little bit better look at things. We are still way below the 200. Come on. And so 30-minute stack positive moving averages, right? Everything looks bullish on the lower end. But do we have enough money flowing into it, into small caps? Or are people going to invest in those large caps? Oh my gosh. My Google 2900 calls might open in the money. Wow. Huh. I've never traded a Google call in the money, so I don't even know how that would move, but I'm assuming it would be pretty good, right? I might have to change my exit order. I've got an $11 exit order, and Google moved 40 points overnight. It's at 28.20 now. It hit 28.35, 34%. Ooh, that's gorgeous. And then gold. Remember gold. So this white line is the zero line regression line, right? So now is a good place for consolidation to occur. Looking at this from a daily perspective, let's do that first. All right. There's the move. Let's see if I can do this. Right, 1, 2, 3. If we back test and for a little bit of support, we've got lots of support here that should provide the next move up. This could be the 1, 2, third leg, fourth leg, fifth leg. Let me show you what that looks like. I mean, that's so, yeah, that's, I mean, it's pretty spot on. There is, see this doji right here? Right, there is a zone that it's going to trade. And I think it back tests this reversion line. But yeah, nice, very easy to see 1, 2, 3, or Elliott wave. Very easy to see. Trying to find the supply zone that's going to be a difficult one. Normally I would say it was this doji here that we're in, but I want to say this one makes a little bit more sense. That gives us I have magnets turned on, so I don't know if it's going to let me do it. There we go. That's what I like. I like that move there. 1836 to about 1848 is that supply zone, right? And it should be the last leg of the Elliott wave. So on this pullback, if you were to ride this fifth leg, this fifth wave, it's pretty much a guarantee. Okay, not a guarantee, but a guarantee. You know what I mean. And then crude on the daily, big move up 92.50. It's pulling back to some support levels. Made chop in here. We're definitely 2 standard deviations away from the regression line. So if it falls, it could fall all the way back to here. But I think it just back tests maybe to 86 and chops into 86 for a little bit. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, possibly into the fifth wave. Right. If we use this as the Elliott wave, this makes a lot of sense. Right. And then we get a correction, which would look like, oh, I don't have it up. Do I? Don't think I have the corrective wave up. The corrective wave may look something like that. Let me just show you what this looks like. All right, if we say this is the Elliott wave move, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other potential one would be this, with this being the one spot, right? 2, 3, 4. Right. Typically the fifth wave isn't as long as the third wave. Right. We just really have to look at it. But then we're going to get a correction pattern. We're going to get a corrective move, right? Which is usually a 1, 2, 3 correction for continuation on. So just keep an eye on crude, right? So far it's down a little bit. Bonds are definitely down. Right. We'd like to see another bond move for another leg lower. It's going to be tough though. I mean, they're pretty low right now. And then the yen is just the yen's just down, right? The yen can continue to move down. The yen should come down and make a lower low today. Bonds can just chop here for a little bit. All right, so that's it for the futures. We will get into our flow trade plays. Our bread and butter stocks, Apple, obvious nice gap up to about 176.50. AMD with the gap up as well. Big old gap up, 128 to 130.50. Google went 27.90 to 28.20. So what is that? That's a $40 move overnight. Vidi, I'm sure, is up as well. I don't know if these wicks are actual true wicks or if there's a glitch, but it ripped all the stops out, and I believe when this happens we see a big pullback. So I'm going to be taking profit at the bell and buying on any dips. Okay. Tesla, it's interesting, Tesla doesn't have those big wicks, right? Tesla closed at 924. It hit 940. I've got the 975s. Be interesting, but SPY with the big wicks, QQQ with the big wicks, and SPX doesn't trade. So that's it for just a general overview. Let me get into this section of our day, and then let me show you Theo, and let me show you, there's something else I want to show y'all. All right, let me get these moved around. The screen you see in front of you now is the Smart Money Dark Pool Block Trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade that's called the Flow Index. The Flow Index tracks smart money, large institutions, hedge funds, transactions. From that, it's created a predictive leading indicator to show you what's going to happen in the market before it happens. We look for opportunities where there's divergence from price action and this purple flow index line. Okay. Other things that you'll see on these charts will be these red lines. Those are regular block trades. Blue lines are dark pool block trades, and white lines are the best time of your life. Just kidding. No, white lines are when there's a dark pool and a block trade, a regular block trade that print, right? They print either on top of each other or next to each other, but I could never draw two lines. So those white lines are major inflection points. I would highly recommend that you draw a line on your screen when I say, hey, there's a white line level here, just to see how price interacts with it, right? You'll be pleasantly surprised, okay? All right, so next up on our list is... All right, give me 1 second. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. I see what they're talking about. Just get rid of that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sorry, we just set up a Discord server. Okay. All right. So where was I? Look for divergences, white lines. I think that's it. All right. First person here gets the first request. What's up, Johnny? What you got? Facebook? Yep. I'm going to go through the 4-chart pattern real quick so that I can get these loaded up and y'all can see what's what and what's good. All right, so we got Facebook. Y'all want to see what's up with Tesla. I want to watch what's up with Tesla. Peloton. Chegg. Y'all hear that annoying alarm? Yeah, I'll be killing that in a second. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta go shut off that alarm. The original Pixel. That phone has driven me nuts. Okay, so block trades, divergence. Five days. Use candles. Use candles. Normal algorithm, 15-minute. I have no idea why that was requiring me to rebuild everything. All right. Ooh, those look a lot cleaner. Okay, so Facebook. What's going on with the Facebook? AMG, Microsoft, Square. Crude is going up to 100. Not this week, Billy. It's not. Apple. AMG. Okay, so Facebook. Big flow index moves, right? Controlled selling off. We've got a little bit of bullish divergence coming in. Lots and lots and lots of block trades in the last 3 days. Currently, we are at really 216. I'm probably going to buy some Facebook shares today for the long term. But it is making, this is a broadening pattern on the flow index. Kind of, right? I hope it's not, but it could very well be. So we got that move there. Well, the flow index has made a higher high, and it should begin to pull price up with it. So there's a trading zone that goes 221 to about 225, and then we've got a bunch of regular block trades and dark pulls. 226. Hold on, let me just give you the level. 226.84. I would consider that a white line, and let me show you what that looks like here. I wish that these would hold, right? But they're not going to, which is frustrating. All right, let's see if I can get this to hold. On the last system, all I had to do was set it once and forget it, but this one's making me do it on each chart, which is extremely time consuming. All right, Facebook. We've got some divergence. All right, yay, it held. All right, so we got a little bit of divergence here. We've got a pretty significant downtrend, right? Falling, massive falling wedge. Looks like we got that little bit of a breakout happening here. We've got a regular block trade magnet at 237.56. We've also got regular block trade resistance here. I know it's really hard to see these. 221.66. So if we break above that, we've got a white line level here that we're going to use, right? 226.84. If we were to look for a fib retracement from the high to the low, right, that's a 382 retracement right there. That white line that I drew, 382 retracement. So we came down, we broke through it, we back tested it, we're downtrending, we're looking for a downtrend reversal. The flow index is starting to make a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, the flow index is coming up to previous resistance. If the flow index breaks this and it starts to pull price back up with it, that 227, or excuse me, 226. Let's just call it 227. 227 is going to be the magnet, right? Above that, it's going to start taking a little bit of profit, right? So maybe a little bit of pullback, but we're going to look at 227, pull back to 224, and then a continuation on for trend reversal. Look for big old exaggerated inverse head and shoulders to form, but if price can trade back into this zone right here, right, start trading like it was trading in this zone right here, that's super bullish. There's another little trading zone that it could trade within, but it's got a lot of work to do. I'm probably going to look at trying to get some shares. If we reject this regular block trade at 221, we've got support at 215. Below 215, it gets super ugly. Okay, that's the Facebook move. Tesla. Just super chop over the last couple days, right? It's been consolidating. The flow index has came up, made a higher, well, it's trying to reverse here a little bit, right? There's a zone for it to go, right? The flow index can go like this, right? So, oh, did it save everyone? Oh, that's so awesome. It's so very, very awesome. There's basically this zone here that the flow index is going to want to trade into. Should be pretty bullish for price action today. I don't know if this, like, that was that. There's some pretty key levels for Facebook that's got Tesla. This is 940 Tesla. Oh, is that a real drop or is that a fake drop? And it was. They just took out all the stops. There are no stops here. It just ate them all up. If we want to look back on the SPY, remember when the SPY did this last week? I don't know if it's going to let me go back. I can't find it, but SPY did a big old fake candle like that as well, right? Big old John Wick. Was it this one? So price typically, if I'm reading this right, price typically moves the opposite way of those wicks. I've always wanted to get into that. So let's sidebar this. I would like to maybe go through and really note this because I think I've seen when you have these big giant wicks happen, price usually moves the opposite direction. And what happens is smart makers just go down and they take out all these stops because they're not going to bring it down. They're going to continue to move it up. So they're like, we're going to gather all your money, okay? Because people are shorting this. They're like, oh, it's too high, short it. Oh, it's too high, short it. And they're moving the stops here. There's a stop there, and there's a stop there. And market makers are greedy, and they're just going to go grab all their stops. It's called stop. There's a technical term for it. But anyway, consolidation, like I said, regular block, 921. Nothing after that. So I would look 950 possibly. 950. Dare I say 993, right? Do we trade this zone right here? Do we trade the 945 to 990? If that's the case, then I should probably put some diamonds on my hands and see what Tesla does and not just close out my position at the open. Or do I take my profit and move on? I think I'm gonna roll. I think I'm gonna roll up. I'm gonna take some profit and buy some new ones on dips. Okay. Tesla, like I said, the flow index wants to trade like this again, right? So it's gonna give it a shot, most likely today. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next one. Peloton, Chegg. What's going on with Peloton? So we've got lots of bearish divergence on Peloton. All of this other bullish divergence has played out. Right now we're trading bearish. We've got bearish divergence to worry about. This could be a massive little head and shoulders. There's a dark pool level at at one. I'm used to saying one at 37.26. Regular block magnets 37.94 and 39.43. Those all came in yesterday and they may have been filled. So sell order, dark pool, possible sell order since the flow index is pointing down at the time. Regular block magnets down to 35, right? 36, 35, 34, below 34. Next stop, 31.50. There is a gap that needs to be filled here on Peloton. Do they move money out of this in favor of maybe some different stocks? Could be. Anytime I've seen this little move right here, it usually ends up being a big giant finger. The flow index is pointed down. There is it's brand new bearish divergence, so we can't really say that it's gonna not just reverse, right, and continue to pull price action up with it. But based on this candlestick pattern, I don't like it. I think that it's pretty heavy, so I would look downside 36, 35.50 as that key level, right? Pretty key level right there. 35.50, below 35.50, right? Then quick little flush back down to about 32, and then it has to decide if it wants to reach down here and fill these gaps, right? But it looks super heavy. Peloton, I don't like it. I don't think it's going to recover like it used to. I wouldn't want to trade it anyway. Chegg, they had earnings yesterday, if I remember correctly. Big old move off of earnings. Dark pool resistance now at 31.63. This divergence here is played out, I would say. Maybe not. Regardless, we do have new bearish. We've got new bearish divergence. Are we going to say the divergence occurred there? No, because this one played out here. That's trading with price, and this is really the area of divergence. This regular block trade at 27.27. This is a big old, like, big giant move. So if it starts to fail, right, I would say support is here at 30. Right, if it can't hold this 30 level, it's going to come fill this block at 29. Below that, it's going to want to start its gap fill down to 27, 26, 25, and play that bearish divergence out. Okay. All right. AMG and Microsoft. CrowdStrike. RTX. AMGM is trading, the flow index is trading with price. There's a big gap right there. I can't tell if this regular block trade's been filled yet or not. Looks like it came in right at the close. Buy order, so 241.66. The flow index is just going to continue to pull price action up with it. I would use 241.66 as support. Above that or below that, then I think it's got this big gap to the downside to fill eventually, but I think it's going to continue to rip. Microsoft's RTX Chegg. All right, so Chegg. What was the other one? Was it CrowdStrike? All right, 1 second. All right, sorry, I need to wake up my son and okay. Microsoft. So downtrending, and they started buying into it, trading with price. All right, Microsoft's just essentially trading with price action, right? Very, very consolidation. A little bit of bullish divergence here. We have a 301 is a white line level, right? So is 305s, 305.75. You're just gonna have to. My colors aren't gonna be precise on this because I haven't changed it yet. All right, so Microsoft. Right, that 301, 305. I think those are pretty key levels, right? We got some regular block trades at 304.36, some dark pool levels at 304.56, right? And then dark pool magnet at 307.24. So looks like there's a little bit of bullish divergence. I'd look for the flow index to try to move back up to the upside. However, it's kind of pointed down, right? It looks like this is all just trading with price action. So based on like knowing that today's going to be a pretty bullish day, or assuming that it is, above 307, maybe that move to 310. If we reject 307, what's Microsoft doing right now? I would assume it's moving up pretty good too. Yeah, 309, 309.50. Yeah, so Microsoft is at another area of decision, right? It either trades the 310, 315 zone, or it trades the 310, 304 zone. Is that right? Hold on. Big trading zone there, right? Yeah, 309. 309 to 314, or 309, yeah, 309 to 313, and then 306 down to 303. Yeah, that's right. Just keep an eye on what happens with the flow index. It's got massive support at 300. I don't think it's going to break down below 300. So we'll just have to see what happens with the flow index. And then finally, what do we got coming on here? RTX, Raytheon. War is good for the economy. Just Raytheon, I think, is just going to continue to move to the upside. We got a dark pool level at 95. I would use that as support. If it can't get above 95, I think it backfills down to 90, 92.50. Maybe wicks down to about 91.80 and then continues up. Or if it can't hold this dark pool level, then I think we get a pretty big move to the downside. However, the flow index is just trading with price right now. Okay, same thing with CrowdStrike. Flow index is trading with price. We got a little bit of bullish divergence. Yes, the algo or the flow index is pointing down, but it's basically respecting this little trend line that it gave itself. Right? It's kind of respecting that a little bit. I mean, it is a big old fashion wedge, right? One dark pool level at 178.90 on the downside move. But with the market being up as much as it is today, right? Put on time. All right. I would look for a move on crowd above 185. Moved about 191. If it can't break, right? If it can't make that move, then we get pullback to 179.71. Where's that block at? 178.80. Is that what it was? 178.80. Yeah, that's the 21 day. So there may be a pullback to the 21. That would make a nice little 4-hour cup and handle for move up. I don't know if there's just going to be, well, we got some medium to low to medium compression squeezes going off. Green and yellow, right? It's already in fire, should be firing off to the upside. Stack positive moving averages when those squeezes, like this orange high compression squeeze released earlier, and we had that big explosive move. Right now we're pulling back to support, and we should try to continue to move up. We have the 50-day at 191. So I mean, yeah, there's a maybe a $5 move there on CrowdStrike. I think you might find some better plays elsewhere. And finally SPY, and then I'm going to show you how to do the theta or the Theo, and I got to run. Did I get everybody's stuff? I think I did. Oh, I didn't do square, did I? My bad. All right, square's got nice bullish divergence, right? A real nice looking bullish divergence. Double bottom off of white line support. Is it going to let me do it? We'll see here in a second. Nope. It's not going to do it. 102.50 is white line support. Regular blocks coming in at 102.81. Or dark pulls at 102.81. Regular block magnets at 104.15 and 106. So little double bottom W-shaped reversal here, right? I don't know what square's trading at right now. 106.50. So it's trading right here at this regular block level, right? It came up and got it. So what's the next move gonna be? Is it gonna be maybe retesting this high, or does it do a gap fill, right? I would say above 111, right? You trade this zone here. Above 111, you trade this zone, right? The flow index is definitely, let's see, so Trading with price, trading with price, trading with price. Yeah, this flow index is trading with price. The divergence that was, let's see, played out. $115 target. 115 target on square. Okay, and then SPY. This is it's super range. I don't know what SPY trading at now. Oh, I gotta run. 1 second. 455. Oh, wow, big old move on SPY. 455. All right, looks like SPY is trying to fill this gap up to here. The flow index going into today, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Possibly we get this kind of a move on the flow index. Yeah, it's a tough one. I would look for something like this to occur, right? Trading with price. So the last time it did this, right, it went on a run. There's those wicks I was talking about. So there should be more, and I think we go on a run. So we're looking at a wedge breakout. 460, 464. All right, I gotta go. All right, 1 second. Let's see if I can do this. All right, so this is how you check to see what your options contracts could be priced at the open, right? So let's look at Tesla, for example. So Tesla closed at 922. It's currently trading at 938, right? So that's a $16 move, right? You pull up your layout, your Theo price and mark. You grab this Theo price calculator here. You set it for the date, and then you want to say, right? You put everything to 0, right? Which sets everything to 0, right? The mark was 1170. The Theo price is 1170, right? On those 940s, okay? And then what you do is you change it for the amount that was made. So Tesla is up $16. So you just do plus 16.00, right? And what that'll do is it'll give you an estimate for what your theoretical options contract will be at the open, right? So it closed at 360. It should open close to 750. So if I want to close it at the gate, right, even though it made 16 bucks, it's only, it's a doubler, right? So I've got an order in for what, 750, right? Google, what's the other one? Right, Google closed at 27.87. It's at 28.23. So that's a $50 move, right? 23 and 13 is, let's just call it a $40 move, right? Zero to zero things out. Plus 40. Right. I've got the 2900s, right? They closed at 365, right? They may open right around 11. So I've got orders in, I've got one in at 11, 750. So yeah, that's the easiest way to kind of guesstimate what it's going to open at, or what it should rally, the initial pop should get it to. So that being said, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. I am Darkpool Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you have not joined the Discord yet and you want to hang out with us throughout the day, scroll up to the top of the chat. There's a link. There's an invite. Come join us. Stay safe, stay green, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Happy... Oh my gosh, y'all. Laz, you're fired. It's Wu-Tang Wednesday, and I didn't even go with the Wu-Tang Wednesday. Come on. Okay, just kidding. Wu-Tang Wednesday, happy day.